Hello, it's James Willoughby, and we're bringing you another episode of what's happening in the Austin residential real estate market, where we look every week at what's gone pending, what's new on the market, and what the trends are in the marketplace on a week to week basis. And this week, we want to talk about what we have left of the summer market. I told you that the summer market was nearly over, and on the calendar, summer hasn't even started. Would you believe me? Well, realtors consider the summer market typically is going to be when school lets out in May, all the way to when school starts again, which now is like mid-August. So it's a pretty short summer, right? I know the teachers wish it were longer for sure, but June, July, and August are considered the summer months as far as real estate's concerned. But when we're talking about August, for example, those are it's really not the month that people are buying. It's the month that people are closing on their homes to get in before school. So here we are, just past the middle of June, and we only have a couple weeks until 4th of July. So that weekend's kind of a bad weekend. And then, the market's running pretty hard until the end of July. And at that point, if you hadn't bought a home and you wanted to close in August, well, then now you're closing in September, right? So, but anyway, let's take a look at what we think is going to happen this year, right? So, or this season, I guess. So we have now eclipsed 12,000 listings as of last week, the third week of June. So that's the highest it's been in, gosh, many, many years, dating back about 10 years ago, I think was the last time. And the other graph that I love to talk about is new active listings. These are homes that went on the market last week, 1,074 in our MSA versus 977 or 877 rather. Need my glasses fixed here. So that gap, this gap right here, is what's causing the inventory to go up. We have more homes coming on the market than we have leaving the market in terms of pending sales. Now, price reductions, last week we talked about it being the highest I'd ever seen in my memory anyway. So with 12,000 homes on the market, we had 1,734 that reduced the price 2 weeks ago, and then last week about just over 1,500. So you can see that this is last year's graph. So these numbers here are lower than this year, which means that number one, we have more inventory. So even if the same number of listings adjust, or same percentage, it's going to be a higher number. Now, all this data feeds into weeks of inventory. So it should aptly be named absorption rate, because the absorption rate is how long would it take to get rid of all the current inventory, all 12,000 homes, if we're clipping along at just under 900 pending sales per week. So right now it's 13.78. So it hit a peak of over 14. Now we're kind of bouncing around. Really, this is almost the same number. And as you can see, when we compare and contrast to last year, it's quite a bit higher. So we have more inventory this time this year than we did last year. More homes prices are being improved. And if you were listening a few weeks ago, more homes are expiring. In other words, they're failing to sell week over week. The other thing we want to look at, which is some of the good news, is that mortgage rates have dropped a little bit, just a hair, like 0.04 of 1%, which is not a very big change. But if we look at what's happened here, we've had this kind of roller coaster ride from last like November, and then we've had some ups and downs, and we just came off of kind of another high for the spring, which was like 7.25, and now we're under 7%. So I think psychologically under 7% keeps the buyers in the game, but we have limited buyers. So if you're a seller right now, you really have to look at all the metrics. And honestly, selling your home, it's really a beauty contest. So if your home isn't prettier, nicer, um, better design, or better price, or factors therein that make it the best value in the neighborhood, your home's going to be second place as opposed to first place in getting an offer and selling your home. So if you're a buyer in this marketplace, it's always a good time to buy in Austin in the long run for sure. We do think that by the end of August, there'll be people that are really motivated to sell at that point. So it may be a consideration, although that may be the picked over inventory as well. So you have to be kind of careful. I mean, I'd say buy with your heart and justify with your mind, because you don't want to buy a home you don't want in the long run, right? So, but anyway, if you are a buyer or a seller and you have questions for the Jaymes Willoughby team, please get a hold of us. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel where we do this every week and we throw other content out there that is interesting stuff. So check out our YouTube channel if you haven't. Subscribe to it. Watch our other videos. We do more than just talk about the weekly stats. Till next week, have a good one. Thanks.